Call City Council meeting to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Echoangeli,
Present.
Vining,
Here.
Germaini. Here. Lamore.
Here.
Elder.
Here.
Whitman. Here. Mayor Clark.
Here. I'd ask we all please rise for the invocation. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
As we gather this evening, help us engage in meaningful discussion and nurture the bonds of community while acting in accordance with what is best for our community to promote the common good.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, first item, please.
The next item is any amendments to the agenda.
Any amendments to the agenda from requests from council or administration? Seeing none. Next item, please.
The next item is citizen comments not related to an agenda item.
Thank you. At this time, any comments from those present here this evening? If there's any comments, be mindful of the rules of the chamber on your time for 3 minutes. There's also an opportunity at the end of the meeting for public comment as well. Any comments from those present here this evening? Seeing none. Clerk, next item, please.
The next item is under council action, item 2052, approval of guaranteed maximum price, new fire station number 1.
Thank you. Mr. Pastu.
Thank you, Your Honor. City Administration is recommending approval of a guaranteed maximum price with George W. Ock Company to construct fire station number 1. The guaranteed maximum price is $5,245. What did I say? Still bargaining right to the end, yes.
He's standing up already. That's a good deal.
Yes, it is.
We'll build 10 of those.
Right, 100.
All right, Mr. Pastu, I'll let you start over.
Yes, we're asking that you approve the guaranteed maximum price with George W. Ock Company for fire station number 1 in the amount of $5,245,777 and authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the necessary documents to execute this phase of their services for the project. It's a little bit higher than what we talked about a couple weeks, I think about $30,000, and a lot of that has to do with providing some additional allowances since there is some potential work. Obviously, there will be some work taking place in the winter, in particular with the masons. There may be some heating related to that. I stress that it is a guaranteed maximum price. I think that we've got allowances in there to ensure that it doesn't go above and beyond that. And there is a significant contingency amount in there, and if we exercise good discipline, I think we can get through this project under that dollar amount. We're going to be issuing bonds in the amount of $6 million. The sale is happening this August 29th, but related to this item, we're certainly comfortable recommending approval of that. I have in the audience Aaron St. Dennis with project manager with Ock, if you had any questions or for him related to this item.
We'll start to see if there's any questions for city manager from the council. Councilman Felder.
Just one brief one, Your Honor. Is this inclusive or exclusive of the $100,000 worth of steel that we approved last
It's
meeting?
inclusive of that.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we approve the guaranteed maximum price of $5,245,777 submitted by the George Ock Company to construct fire station number 1 and authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to sign the necessary documents.
Support.
There's a motion by Councilman Echoangeli, supported by Councilwoman Whitman on item 2052, approval of the guaranteed maximum price on fire station 1. Other comments from council?
Your Honor, just a brief comment. I appreciate the efforts that the city manager, the department heads, Mr. Sell, Mr. Lewis, Clerk Treasurer Lavoie was involved in the steering committee, as well as Jody Egan and a few other city staff, plus the fire chief, police chief, in terms of really work the number and the cost down based on with the council's policy of trying to get the cost in terms of reflecting the possible decrease in the DTE valuation. I also want to thank George Auk Company for, helping with the estimating throughout that process, and then Mr. Redstone, the architect, for the amount of work that they did in trying to make this project come on target in terms of price. Thanks, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
I just had one other question.
Councilman Moore.
Regarding the doors. We have not made a decision on those yet?
We have not.
Okay, but that price is basically in there as far as that goes.
We have the overhead retractable doors, whether we contemplate the marginal cost difference for the bifold doors would come later on, so project proceeds. So,
As an added cost?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. We want to make sure we get out of the ground is really a great concern to us, and I don't think that puts us behind too far if we make that decision once the project is underway. We have a good idea what's if there's any surprises, if you will, when you start putting a shovel in the ground.
Thank you.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. No further comments. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Equangeli?
Yes.
Vining?
Yes.
Jermaine?
Yes.
Lamore?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Whitman?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes. Clerk, next item, please.
The next item is the consent agenda, and approval of payments under item B should read $1,216,584.88. 1216584.88.
Thank you. Are there any items on the consent agenda that council wishes to have pulled for further discussion? Any items from council wish to have pulled? Seeing no comments, those present here this evening, any items on the consent agenda you wish to have pulled for further discussion? Seeing none, motion would be in order.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that all the items on the consent agenda not removed be accepted, placed on file, and the resolutions be carried out.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Michael, support by Councilman Feldman. Really all items on the consent agenda be accepted, placed on file. Recommendations and resolutions adopted. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Equangeli?
Yes.
Vining?
Yes.
Jermaine?
Yes.
Lamore?
Yes.
Felder?
Yes.
Whitman?
Yes.
Mayor Clark?
Yes. Did I say Felder?
You did.
Okay.
You got close, it's all
I
right.
said Felder, I think. I meant Felder. I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought about that for it looked over. Right. Clerk, next item, please.
I have no further items, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll start then with council comments. Councilman Michelangelo.
Yes, Your Honor, first off, Michelle, congratulations on the primary.
Oh.
I wish you the best of luck. One comment I have, Your Honor, and this is really for the city administration, and I didn't want to pull it off the agenda because I don't have an issue with the West Front Street resurfacing professional service agreement, but I think it'd be beneficial if the city administration sent out pre-qualification statements to a half a dozen engineering firms and get a group of engineering firms that are pre-qualified by the city for a variety of services. So when we have a project, we don't have to go through the RFP and the competitive process. We can just present a scope of work to the engineering firms, have them present a price, and the administration can determine what the most appropriate what the most appropriate firm would be. I think it would save time and make it much more efficient relative to how we manage our infrastructure project. So that's just a request that I have.
See, he's writing a note, so I'm sure he'll come back with that
And,
for us.
and that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thanks. Councilwoman Vining.
Yes, Your Honor. As many may have noticed, the ALCC board announced its new executive director, and he's in the building this evening, so hopefully he'll have a few comments for you all. But other than that, we're working very hard to meet the city standards for what we want to see the ALCC become as we continue to move forward. And I personally want to thank the city manager and his staff. They've been working very closely with the ALCC board to see that we're able to keep moving forward. So thank you so much, Vince, and your staff. And that's it, Your Honor.
Thank you, and hopefully we'll hear a comment at the end of the meeting. That's to
Yeah.
make an introduction. Would be wonderful. Councilwoman Germaine.
I also wanted to welcome the new ALCC director. Welcome. That's all. Thank you.
Councilman Lamore.
Yes, Your Honor. I want to thank Jody for her presentation tonight on the Citizens Reporting app. This can be a great tool for our citizens in Monroe. I know that there are some homeowners in the city that would like to report things and sometimes are a little bit swayed against doing that. I think this is a great way for them to be able to get their thoughts across and hopefully improve their property values. So we'll see how this goes. That's it.
Thank you. Councilman Feller.
Wonderful turnout at the Jazz Fest. It's always a really great event. It was a lot of people there. I hope that as this event proceeds forward in the future, that the city and the downtown businesses are continued to be engaged as core partners in this process. And I too would like to welcome the new director of the ALCC. I very much look forward to working.
Very good. Councilwoman Whitman.
I also enjoyed the art festival and the jazz festival, packed with people, and I love seeing the weekends turn out like they have been, and look forward to more events. And I also would like to welcome the new director. And I think that if any of us can be of service, that you should know that you have access to us. So.
All right, thank you. Just a couple comments, echo those. I know the Jazz Festival and the Art Festival, great representation in town, a lot of visitors, and I received many compliments to the city staff that was providing service, from the fire department, the police department, our DPS, and just really the integration of everybody and the opportunities to have a conversation. That's where I met the new director for the first time. We had a chance to converse, and look forward to further meetings as well, as he already has taken the helm at the ALCC, and look forward to the growth in projects there. A couple items, just upcoming items. First thing I want to mention is the next city council meeting, because it is after Labor Day weekend. So we don't have a meeting on Monday because that's the holiday. We cannot hold the meeting on Tuesday because, thanks to the county and the county commissioners allow us to use this facility, their meetings are on Tuesday. So we cannot meet on Tuesday here, and we still are working through our renovation at City Hall's council chambers. So the next city council meeting is actually going to be on a Wednesday, September 5th, here in these chambers at the county building at 7:30 p.m. That's the time for the council meeting, so I know it'll be put out there on the calendars, but I wanted to make that notice here as well. Upcoming event this Saturday, the 25th, at Munson Park, begin at 10 a.m. Our Public Safety, Police, and Fire Picnic is at Munson Park, beginning at 10 a.m. Opportunities for the community to come out, interact with our departments, not just activities for the youth, but also opportunities for adults to engage and interact with that as well. With this week and last week, the schools have opened and started. So this is kind of my safety message to all. And I usually used to give it after Labor Day, but now that's too late because some of our schools have already started. Others will start after Labor Day. I know some of the youth and preschoolers started today at our private schools, and of course public schools begin their sessions next week. So I ask everybody be mindful as our students and our youth go back to school. They're either walking, watch your other vehicles. There's definitely going to be more traffic in areas that may not have been there. It's no different than it was in the spring. It comes back here this week and next week. And the youth are excited to be back, and of course sometimes run. And so when they run, sometimes you have to be watchful. So please be mindful of your speed and when you're around the schools, so we don't have any problems with accidents with our youth. The Labor Day Festival is set for Saturday, September 1st. There'll be a parade at noon on Monroe Street, which then leads to the downtown and at St. Mary's Park for the Labor Day Barbecue Festival, which begins at 1 p.m. Again, that's on Saturday, September 1st. And look to the city manager for his comments, because I know we're looking at a groundbreaking, as you heard us talk earlier regarding the Fire Station 1, looking at the opportunity for the community to come out and join the council and administration as we have a groundbreaking. And I know that there's a date being selected. Now, if that's changed or not, so I'll give that for the opportunity. The city manager, please announce for us during his comments. I think that's all. I had one item on the agenda, just as Councilman Eclange highlighted one. There's an item on the agenda, and I'm going to raise this because I get many inquiries. In fact, I sent an email back to a gentleman today regarding what is going on in the city of Monroe and about development and about new businesses. And there's at least 4, maybe 5 projects that are underway in the downtown area, and I'll just talk about that today. But one of the items was a recommendation to the Michigan Liquor Control Commission. There's opportunities for businesses outside the normal traditional LCC license. There are communities that qualify to have other licenses in the right circumstances to be presented within the community. And we have that opportunity. We have a business that there was a resolution recommending the approval for this particular use license. I know it's not coming to me the exact what it's called, but that's okay because it shows you that there's another business in town that's transforming an old building for a similar use, but improving, upgrading, improving the loft apartment that's above. And these developments are ongoing in the city. And I just want to message that because some comments I've received, like what's going on, but also emails when sometimes it's right in front of us and we may not see what's being transformed. So it's when it talks about a restaurant and a unique type facility that I think will be an addition to our downtown community. So with that, Clerk Treasurer Lavoie, I will say thank you for the efforts for all the staff during the election that was just held, not the primary, but the idea of all the volunteers that assisted, but also through Clerk Treasurer's office getting through that without any significant problems that we've heard elsewhere throughout the state, unfortunately, have occurred, but to get through the election. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It went very smoothly, and I do want to commend staff, not just clerk treasurer staff, but once again, all of the departments pitched in and helped, and we've had staff now that act on the receiving board, which helps make that go more smoothly. So I appreciate all that. Primary election is over, so now is the time. If you have questions about your voter registration, or if you've changed your address or you moved, please contact the clerk's office. From now until October is when you need to make any changes with your voter registration to be eligible to vote in November. In anticipation of larger crowds in November, we are retraining and training for the first time all of our election inspectors on the electronic poll books. We want to make sure that everyone is ready to jump on those laptops that you have to go past in order to get your ballot on election day. So we're actually already scheduling that training. And that brings me to this. If you would like to come on board as an election inspector, we are still accepting applications for that. So please contact the clerk's office and we would get you trained. And then finally, the clerk's office has registered again to take part in National Voter Registration Day. We did that, piloted it last year, and it was fairly successful and brought some attention to voter registration. So we will be doing that again, and I'm hoping to have a few community partners as well. And Miss Egan's very helpful with all of those efforts, and also she has a place on the new app that we saw tonight for voter information. So that's going to be helpful as well. Continuing communication is what we're trying to do. That's it.
Your Honor,
Just a few
Yes.
things.
may I ask the clerk,
Yes.
what day is the National Voter Registration Day?
September 24th. It occurs just a couple of weeks shy of the voter registration deadline, so it works out perfectly. But September 24th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's been initiatives in our community in the past to a couple locations to try to rally up to those that may not have yet voted, and the opportunity for them to exercise that right. Thank you for asking, Councilwoman.
That's all I have.
That's it. Mr. Pastu, City Manager, comments?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just following up on Councilmember Rico Angeli, obviously, Mr. Lewis and I have talked about providing a listing of pre-qualified engineering firms. Maybe we can get that to council later this fall with those so that in the future we just submit the scope of the work that we're looking for and have a more formal, detailed bid process. Want to let you know as well that this morning I got from the MEDC the grant for $100,000, the agreement for the ALCC improvements there. So we'll have that on the council's next meeting for September 5th. And then along with that is we also have the bids for the roof replacement. The building department solicited 3 bids, and the low one was just a little bit over $50,000, which is what the project estimate was. So we'll have both those items at the next meeting for council. Again, I want to echo Mr. Rico Angeli's comments about the fire steering committee. Great job, everybody working through that. Certainly appreciate Mr. Lewis kind of shepherding a lot of the details and the organization with that to get to the point where we're ready to put a shovel in the ground, which kind of segues into, we have a tentative date set for November. I'm a mess tonight, I don't know.
Make that one.
September 5th at 6 p.m. But I also know that creates a challenge for Councilmember Lamore, so I throw that out there. We're still trying to finalize that, and you know, if there's any other dates with that, the thought was to do it prior to our regular meeting at 7:30 that night in lieu of a work session. That's where we're at with it right now. If there's changes or another time, I'm certainly open to that as well.
And I know it was discussed as you've kind of started some planning that on September 5th, which is a Wednesday before the council meeting, as stated, at 6 p.m. Of course, that would be on site of where the facility is being constructed on East 2nd Street, which is the old Lincoln School property. Comments for Mr. Pastu.
Well, I think that I was going to ask if September 4th may be a possibility in lieu of the work session on Wednesday, put the groundbreaking on that Tuesday instead, if everybody's available, of course.
And I'm looking at council to see if there's any problems. I know we also have outside personnel that Mr. Pastu has made contact with.
Well, I'll have, if I may, just send Pat Weaver in our office to send out a note and see if that day would work as well. So
we'll need to finalize this quickly, so I would ask council that with the alternative date that we get back right away, because there's some things that need to be planned and messaging that has to go out, and then leave that to the city manager to make the final call, so to speak, based off of that. But it seems to be that nobody has a conflict that evening here as far as council. We'll see what Mr. Pastu finds out. Go from there. That's anything.
I just had one last item. Is just our goal with the council chamber project was to be back in our regular council chamber in October. Our first meeting in October is October 1st. We're going to be pushing it. I think it's probably more practical to think that we'll be there October 15th for that. So just wanted to let you know about that, and certainly appreciate all the cooperation we've received from the county and using their facilities. So with that, that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Buds, I think you might just have a comment this evening.
Just by way of update, we will proceed with a purchase that was previously approved and described on some property on East 2nd Street, the even numbers 1102 through 1128, in accordance with the prior authorization, just indicating that there may be the need for some resolution of some title issues post-closing, and we'll proceed with that along with the city manager without any objection from council.
Thank you for the update. Further comments from Mr. Buds? Any comments from those present here this evening? Comments for citizens' comment and introduction. Mr. Hill. So we're going to ask Felix to come up and introduce himself to those that are here and those that are watching on Impact. The new executive director for the Arthur Leslie Community Center. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to first thank the council and the mayor for your hospitality and welcoming me into the city. The last 2 weeks have been fast. So thank you for the invites to the festival and all the individuals that helped make this transition a lot easier on myself. I also want to thank the board for the ALC for the opportunity and the help that they've given me on a daily basis since I've been here and helping the transition into the city of Monroe. It's been a big one because I was just relocating from Louisiana, and so thank you all. It's been a lot easier on me with the wife and the 4-year-old, and so I appreciate it. My main goal with the ALC is to just try my best to invest of myself, my experiences and professional background into the individuals that come through that center. We're planning, and I'll make sure I have a date for you all in the next meeting, a grand reopening of the center. For the next month, I want to focus on structure and training for our staff and kind of cleaning up some things and making some cuts here and there so that we'll work more efficiently and better serve the individuals that we're going to be servicing. Thank you all. That's all I can say. Thank you enough just for the opportunity. And I definitely just look forward to us being a catalyst for fostering the relationships, not only with those in that community, but I want the ALCC to be a social center to help reach out to even citizens in Monroe and across the city so that we can definitely have a relationship of oneness in trying to make the best of this center. So thank you.
Well, Felix, I know that there's been newsprint and radio coverage regarding you, so I'll just make it more formal. This is Felix Hill, our new executive director for the ALCC, and I want to say welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Are you good? So with that, are there any comments from those present here this evening? Any further comments from those present? Seeing none, a motion will be in order.
Motion to adjourn?
Support. Motion by Councilman Moore, supported by Councilman Felder. To adjourn. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Aguangeli,
Yes.
Vining,
Yes.
Germaini,
Yes.
Lamore,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Whitman,
Yes.
Mayor Clark.
Yes. Thank you all.